What's up, everybody? It's DarknDorky here from Games in Real Life, coming at you with another neat little trick to help you up your TTRPG game for cheap. And this week or month, it's with another Dollarama find, and I am super excited about this one. Wha-bam! That's right, the Red Eyes and the Blue Eyes dragons here. Blue Eyes White Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon. These were $5 a piece at Dollarama. And I could not be more excited to make a dragon miniature out of these guys! They even come with cute little card minis, or mini cards, if you want to use those in your campaign. Personally, I'm not, but I'm gonna keep them anyways, because they're cool. So let's get into the size classifications. So these guys are gonna sit on a 3-inch base, which classifies them as a huge creature / dragon. So they're gonna be a huge dragon. They're 3.75 inches tall, which by D&D standards makes them huge. So I went into my big old pile of junk plastics, TM, and I grabbed a lid that we are going to use to cut up, chop into pieces, and make some nice little bases. I found a cup here, which is my Yeti koozie for cans, which happens to be exactly 3 inches in diameter. So we are going to use that. We're going to trace it onto this lid here, and then we're going to cut it out with my pair of handy dandy scissors of doom. Let's get into it. So step 1. We're gonna get these guys here, and we're gonna open them up, of course, which I have been anxiously waiting to do. So let's just get this right open here. Oh my god, yes. Blue Eyes. Oh, so awesome. And I want the card. I want the card. I want the card. I want the card. I wonder how many people have thrown this out by accident without knowing that it's actually part of the collectible. And oh my god, it's very heavily, let's just say it's in heavily played condition. I'll just use a book or an iron to flatten that out. We'll pop that off to the side. And then we have our articulated Blue Eyes White Dragon, which honestly, I'm not too into the articulation for this, or, you know, maybe I am. Ooh, maybe that's exactly what Dorky Boy here has been waiting for, is an articulated miniature. So we're just gonna shove that off the side of the counter. And, oh, baby boy Red Eyes, you come to me! Yeah, okay, let's get my Red Eyes out. Personally, my favorite dragon of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. I know it's shared by lots of other people because he's so awesome. And look at that, he's articulated as well. I love that. Okay, well, he's barely articulated. Whatever. It's perfect. It's perfect just the way he is. And they give you, like, a whole manual of all the different things that they sell here. Holy crap, which is a lot. Wow. Wow, they sell a lot of stuff. Collect them all. What the hell, do I look like I'm made of money? Oh yeah, and that's right. Speaking of made of money, I want that. Let me take out my little Red Eyes card. Oh, thank God you're not beat up like the Blue Eyes one, but you know, there was only Blue Eyes in the store, and you can't really tell how beat up the card is, and that's not really why I'm buying it anyways. So let's just get all that junk out of the way. So we got our dragons freed from their plastic prison. Now let's get tracing and cutting on my junky lid. So we got my little Yeti cup. Feel free to also use a compass or a protractor or whatever you want to measure out the 3 inches. I'm lazy, so I am using, I'm just tracing a cup. And we're gonna trace this guy out here. And look at that perfect circle, which I frigged up, and I got it up on the ledge there, which I was trying to avoid. So just okay, and let's do this again without the blatant fuck up. And trace in. By the way, if you plan on doing mixed media art or making miniatures out of junk and little toys, I do suggest that you have a little pile of junk plastics that you don't know what to do with, or anything like that, because you never know when it's going to come in handy for a miniature or art project or whatever. So I'm just going to put some little pointy arrows to point at the not effed up circle, so I know which one to cut out, so I can avoid that from happening again. And we will just trace out our second base here. Swing, swing, swippy swing. Which I'm being kind of wasteful with the plastic, But it's because I want it out of my house. I have enough set. Way too big of a junk pile. So I will be right back with my handy dandy scissors of doom. Alright, so I'm back with my scissors of doom. And let's get cutting here. And start cutting away this, so I'm gonna make it easy on myself, and I'm gonna cut the lid in half. And then I will, oh great, there's like a little elbow thing there. There we go. And now we will start cutting out the rounds of the bases. It will be a little meticulous. If you're more meticulous about the cutting, then you don't need to worry about sanding it down so much afterwards. Because when you cut with scissors, you'll end up inevitably with these weird little sharp edges and whatnot, and be forced to have to sand it. So there's our first character base, Blue Eyes. There you go. You fit perfect. 3 inches seems to be the way to go. And away with that. And time to cut out Red Eyes' base. Yes, Red Eyes gets the nice pretty circle because I like Red Eyes. He gets a pretty base. And cut, be careful, make sure that you are being meticulous, and also make sure you don't get your fingies in the way, because I do not want to be the reason why you lost some digits. And hell yeah, Red Eyes, here's your miniature base. It is complete, kind of, and away with that crap. And there we go. 2 bases cut out and almost ready to prime. We're not going to prime the dragons because I like them just the way they are. So we are going to take these outside and spray bomb them with our handy dandy gray primer, and we will be right back. Oh yeah, by the way, before we prime, we should probably sand these guys down a bit so the paint has something to stick to. Look, we've got some new sandpaper. Thank you, unnamed family members who decided to care about my weird junk that I do. We're gonna give it a good scuff here. A really good scuff here. See, we got some sharp edges on the outside there. We're gonna work those down. Especially when you cut it with scissors, expect to get some weird bumps and sharp edges there. Up to the bottom. Make sure there's no sandpaper touching my table here. My wife will kill me. When you're doing this, try not to bend the bases too much because I don't know how well the memory of this plastic is. One done. Got some shiny. There we go, and let's get that all fixed up there. And there we go. 2 fully sanded bases. Now let's go prime them.
Later.
Sup nerds, we are back and our bases are nice and primed now, so it's time to go ahead and paint them black. Well, I'm going to be using this acrylic craft paint and some Mod Podge that I was lucky enough to get from Value Village for like $3, I think. And the black paint you can pick up from any local dollar store, Walmart, etc, etc. Just look for that acrylic black paint stuff. So I'm just going to grab some back sheet here before I start, just so I don't get my table completely saturated in black paint. And we are going to go ahead and begin here. And there we go, the first one's good to go, and now we're going to move on to the next one. Grab some back sheet here again, just so I don't get my table completely saturated in black paint, and we'll go ahead and get to it. So now that we have both the faces completely covered with the paint, just because I like to use cheap dollar store stuff, I'm going to go through and carefully remove any bristles that the brushes might have left behind. Because as you may have noticed, most of everything that I paint and I use in my videos happens to come from the dollar store, including the brushes. So it's always good to be careful for this because you get what you pay for, to be honest. But I digress. Let's quickly go around the ridges of these bases here and slather on some black paint. Awesome, now that these miniature bases are all painted up and everything there, we are going to do a quick cut and wait for them to dry, and then we'll be right back when it's time to Mod Podge. Alright, so both sides of our mini bases are painted with black, it's all dry, and it's time to Mod Podge these guys here. So just take a liberal amount on your brush and start spreading it around. Make sure that you do nice even coats for both sides. It can be hard, but just try as hard as you can. And don't forget to get the ridges as well, or the sides of the mini base, rather. And there we go. So again, just like with the black paint, I'm not going to show you me painting the other side. Just know in your little hearts and minds that I'm going to do it, because I'm a completionist like that. But anyways, we're going to do another quick cut, another time lapse, and we'll be right back when it's time to sand down the little feetsies of the dragons and glue them on the bases we made. And I'm back. Alright, so the Mod Podge is fully dried on these guys here. Nice and sealed up. It's still a little tacky, but whatever, it's just a little tacky, that's fine. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start attaching our favorite dragons to these bases. So we have our Blue Eyes White Dragon here, and we are just gonna start off by sanding up his feetsies. That's right. Grab that sandpaper, give him a good old pedicure, just a chicka chicka chicka. Sand, 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 little speed laps here for you, and newsflash, we're gonna do the same thing for Red Eyes. That's right, sand in the feet. Excellent. And as you can see, both of the feetsies on both these dragons here are nice and scuffed up, and we're good to go ahead and mount these guys on the bases. So we're gonna grab my handy dandy super glue and just do a little dab, just a couple little dabs. You don't need too much, just a couple drops per foot. Just a couple drops per foot. Couple drops per foot. Gorilla Glue! That's okay, I bought new stuff. That's right. I bought new stuff. I bought new Gorilla Glue. Where is it? Where'd I put it? Just gonna hold please. And I'm back again, this time with new working super glue. Alright, and go ahead and put a couple drops. Like I said before, not too much, just a couple drops per foot, maybe even just one. Gorilla Glue, don't do this to me, man. Don't you do this to me. There we go. Look at that, just like a nice little on it. And we're gonna go ahead and do that with the rest of the feet here. I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up for your viewing pleasure. Thank you. And thank you for staying tuned during this featured time lapse. And now that the time lapse is over, we are gonna go ahead and take the gluey feet of the dragon, and we're gonna line it up as best as we can to the center of the miniature base, and we are gonna press him down. It's gonna take about 5 minutes as per Gorilla Glue standard. And just hold it there. Yeah, we're just gonna sit there, press it down, hold it there, and he should be nice and tight. Now he's done off to the side. Time to glue down Mr. Red Eyes. That's right, Mr. Red Eyes is getting the glue too. Why? Because he's my favorite. I'm surprised I didn't do him first, but you know what? You know what? It is what it is, so don't judge me. I am just a small-time creator, okay? I do this thing out of a passion of love for the arts and the crafts, and also for you guys, so you can learn how to save a buck or two and still have an epic D&D adventure. You know what I mean by that? And go ahead and press down Mr. Red Eyes or Mrs. Red Eyes, non-binary Red Eyes, whatever Red Eyes. It's a dragon. There we go, and nice and stuck down. And we are just going to let these bad guys sit and wait as they finish drying. And voila, like that, just perfect. You have 2 new dragon miniatures to use for your campaign. Woo! Isn't that awesome? It only cost you $10 at the dollar store, maybe, depending on where you live. If you're down in the States, it's probably a little bit cheaper. I'm up in Canada, just for your information, so it was $5 each. And taxes up here are through the roof. Yay! But that concludes this DIY. Let's move on to the glamour shot. And I just want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for following games in real life and checking out this month's DIY with DarknDorky. That's me. If you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that little notification bell to see when we come out with new content. Check us out on Twitch. We stream every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. PST, 9 a.m. MST, because time works different in Alberta for some reason. We also have X, formerly Twitter, at the same name, as well as Instagram at the same name, so be sure to check us out there. And again, thank you all so much for checking us out, and that's all, folks. Sweet dreams.